Now, many other such honors have followed me over the years, but I still have no academic degrees. Oh, but one honorary one, it's a degree in humane letters. And I'm not even sure of the letters, ladies and gentlemen. It may be only A through E, I'm not sure, but I flaunt that with great aplomb. I don't dress up in the robes or anything like that, but I'm sort of proud of that fact. But otherwise, my expertise in two respects is very, very strong. For one thing, I know, as a magician, I know how people are fooled. And second, and more important, I know how they fool themselves. That is more important. Now, every magician from the beginning of learning the trade knows that people will make assumptions. Oh, I see expressions here, and a couple of people saying, oh, not me. No, I'm logical, rational. I don't make assumptions. I need evidence. Oh, really? Some of you are shaking your heads and wondering whether I'm right on this. Well, I can tell you I am right, because you've already made two assumptions, strong assumptions about what you see here. No, this is the real beard. Many people say, are you sure you always bring the real beard along in case something happens to it? You wouldn't want something to happen. But no, this is the real beard. And because this is such an august audience, you're very important folks. But the other assumption that one of two assumptions that you've made is that I'm using this microphone, which is not a microphone. The microphone is underneath my tie here. And this, you see how easy it is to do. And this here is a beard trimmer, which I will not use right now because it's not the time. There's another assumption you've made here. That assumption is that I can see you. I cannot. No, my eyesight is very poor. Now, my eyesight works all right when I wear glasses, but these are not glasses, these are empty frames. No lenses in them, you see. Now, ask yourself this simple question. Why would this elderly gentleman come out in front of us here and confront us with frames that don't have any lenses? What's the use of that? To prove a point, folks, and that point is this, and do not forget it. You can be fooled. And leading scientists and philosophers around the world, academics in every different respect, can be fooled if there's someone doing it. If there's someone actively trying to fool you, you can be fooled if they're smart enough and if you're careless enough. Now, I'm about to do something that I do at every one of my lectures, and don't be too shocked. I'm about to commit suicide by homeopathy. I do this, as I say, at every lecture, and I have Rebecca, where are you? Is Rebecca still in the audience here tonight? You're up there. Well, get down here. You'll remember Rebecca. You've already been edified by her efforts up here. There she is. All right, Rebecca, yes, I have a bottle of water here. So where did you get these, first of all?
These come from obviously an NHS-approved pharmacy in London.
All right. And what is the contents of this particular?
What we have here are Nelson's Natural Care since 1860, Nocturna for natural relief of insomnia, homeopathic remedies. Mm-hmm. £4.60.
Oh, well, I'll pay you later. All right, yeah. Okay. Homeopathy is systematic. What does it have as the ingredients here? I don't. Ingredients. Homeopathy. Calibroma. Coffea. Coffea.
Trust that those are.
Oh yeah, very satisfactory. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Rebecca, please. Now, this is startling. They're even using Latin here. That must make it scientific, you see. And there are pills in a capsule here. Ooh, looks potent, doesn't it? Now, what is coffea, however? Coffea is actually coffee beans, not caffeine. So the coffea that is in these pills a tiny, minuscule fraction of 1% of any one of these pills will be actual caffeine, which is the active ingredient in the coffee, of course. But wait a minute, you need a better explanation, I think, of what homeopathy is really all about. I'm about to do that for you right now. This is the mathematics lesson, the boring part. But you all know this. I'm just pointing out to you how this is done. This was invented by a man named Hahnemann 220 years or so ago. He came up with this brilliant idea. I'll let you decide how brilliant it is. Now, in mathematics, 10 to the power of 1 is simply 10. The number here, the index, shows the number of zeros after the 1. We all know that, right? So 10 squared, or 10 to the second power, is 100, 2 zeros. 10 to the third power, okay, 3. Well, in homeopathic medicines, they dilute the original substance. And they dilute it in a very specific way. They success it. That means shake, but it's scientific for shake, you see. What they do is they take one part of the medicine, whatever it is, in this case coffee beans, and they put it in 10 parts of diluent, usually water, and they shake it. Now 10 is the magic number, okay? They shake it 10 times this way, 10 times this way, 10 times this way. Don't laugh, this is science. Sure. And then they take one part of that and they put it in 10 parts of water and they success it again, chugga, 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 the whole thing. That becomes a 2 solution. You see, 1 part in 100. They repeat it again, it's 1 part in 1,000, but wait a minute. If you look at the packages, the concentration that they like to go to in homeopathy in order for it to become homeopathic is 10. Are you all seated? Good. You might fall down laughing. I need the other end of the pen here. See, what do I know? All right. 10 to the power of 30. Do we have the display at the back there? Is that ready to go? I think so. Oh, look at this. Now, it's very hard to see. There are no lights on it here, but each one of those squares has 3 zeros in it. That is what 1, comma, and then 30 zeros actually looks like. Folks, that's really dilute. Now, I must tell you about a fellow named Avogadro. Very awkward person. I never knew him. But Avogadro came up with a thing called Avogadro's limit. And it simply says that if you repeat this process of diluting medicines 23 times, that there is only a possibility of there probably being 1 molecule or atom of the original substance present. If you go to 24 dilution, well, that means there's 10% chance that there is 1 molecule or atom of the original substance, but they go to 30. Now, I called my late friend Martin Gardner, just died a few weeks ago. Lovely soul, mathematician, great philosopher. I called him and I said, Martin, work out this little problem for me. How many of these sleeping pills would I have to take if I wanted to be pretty sure that I got at least 1 molecule of caffeine? And he figured it out. He said, I hope you're seated. I said, yes. He said, you would have to eat 16 average swimming pools full of pills in order to make sure that you got 1 molecule of caffeine. Picture that. First of all, me in a bathing suit. At one time, reasonably acceptable. Not horrifying, but now not so attractive. As a matter of fact, I was going to open my demonstration tonight with my naked dance on fire, but they told me that that was no longer being requested. So when you come right now, this whole swimming pool thing, there's 16 swimming pools, it's just incredible. And do you feel sleepy? No, I'm still eating sleeping pills right here. I consume these things in an overdose every time I do a lecture anywhere in the world. But I do admit that I think it shows up about, 11:30 or so tonight, I'll start to feel sleepy. But I really don't think that's due to the sleeping pill. So I have to break these pills out here, and I will just gobble them along as I go. Good. Oh, very snappy, yes, very good. Good flavor. Yeah, sure. Now, they're about the size of aspirins. Some of them are made with lactose, and they're little tiny sweet pills. Come on, get out of here. All right. Brandon? Yeah. I'm going to ask you if you'll open the rest of these for me, because I just can't quite manage all that. Thank you. Pardon me, I'm going to sleep. Now, I'm going to overdose on these. Let me have that water. I'm going to overdose on them, and I think I will live through the experience. There. That's a start. I got some more there? Now you get me a good dozen or so that I can swallow them all at once and go on with this thing. Okay. I got to show you something else. Now, homeopathy at this point sounds really silly, right? Sounds silly and highly unlikely to be successful. But wait till you see this. Oh, yeah. Now we got the heavy stuff. You see, a little bit of history. A decade or so ago, I was called by the National Institutes of Health in the United States and by John Maddox, then editor of Nature magazine in the UK. And they asked me to go over with them to France to investigate a homeopathic laboratory there in Clamart, just outside Paris. That was run by Professor Jacques Benveniste. Very honorable gentleman, very well educated, very accomplished gentleman. However, he was a firm believer in homeopathy, and in doing that, while we watched the experiments that he did, we controlled them, we double-blinded them, the whole thing, and the experiments, when we supervised them, didn't work at all. There were just no results. And that's sort of what we expected. They've been tested many, many times around the world for years and years now, and they get no results. However, with Jacques Benveniste, the surprise came when we got back home, and he announced his new discovery. He started a company called DigiBio, and the company came up with this brilliant idea. You don't have to do the chugga thing anymore. No, that takes too much time, you see. So what you can do is, now these are batteries, this is a simple switch, these are wires. These are 2 beakers of water. This one here is homeopathic, so stand back. And this one is ordinary tap water. They're both H2O, but this is homeopathic, you see. And what you do in Benveniste's plan is this. You simply continue this wire up here, and you run coils around this beaker like that. How many coils? 10, you see? They can be educated, you see? Yeah, very good, okay. And right across here and over here, and 10 turns of wire around this one too. And out here, and you connect that, then you close the switch. For how long? 10 seconds. So good. Homeopathy works quickly. Yeah, sure. This water, the homeopathic water, has transferred its signal without any attenuation to this water, and this is now homeopathic. But wait, it gets better. Could it possibly be better than that? Yes. You can do it over the telephone. Oh, yeah. They found that out early on in their research. So what you do is you take the receiver of your telephone, you just put a couple of clips on there and 10 turns of wire, you put it around a bottle, and they send it. Oh, you have to send them your credit card number first, I forgot. Silly me. That's the first step, yes, and they charge you how many francs or whatever, I don't know, but they did that in those days, and that water then became homeopathic. Wait, it gets better.